You work hard, save when you can, but somehow you never seem to get ahead. Every single month, money disappears, and you genuinely have no idea where it all went. You've read the finance books and watched the videos, yet nothing seems to actually change. The problem isn't your income, your budget app, or even your spending habits at all. The real problem is running silently in the background, and most people never find it. It's called a money script, and there's a very good chance yours is sabotaging you. My name is Ryan, and I spend way too much time thinking about financial psychology. If you constantly feel stuck financially, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Seriously, that one button costs you nothing, but it helps more than you might think. Here is the thing. Most personal finance advice completely ignores the most important variable, you. Not your income, not your expenses, but the invisible beliefs quietly running your financial life. Financial researchers at Kansas State University have been studying these money beliefs for 2 decades. They found that your money beliefs, not your income, best predict your actual financial outcomes. That means 2 people with identical incomes can have completely opposite financial results. Interesting, right? This is not about willpower, budget tricks, or even how much money you currently earn. It goes much deeper than that. And honestly, the answer might genuinely surprise you today. Let me paint a picture. You get paid Friday, and by Sunday, it's already gone. You're not buying anything crazy, just food, gas, a few little things here and there. But somehow by the second week, you're checking your balance, hoping you misread the numbers. Does this sound familiar? That earn, spend, stress, repeat loop has a real psychological cause. No, the cause is not laziness or irresponsibility, and it's definitely not a character flaw. The cause was wired into your brain long before you ever earned your first dollar. It started in childhood, and most people carry these invisible programs their entire adult lives. Here's what most people don't realize. Awareness alone can actually be worth thousands of dollars. So what exactly is a money script? Think of it as the core belief system your brain uses to make every single important financial decision. These aren't beliefs you consciously chose to hold. They were absorbed directly from your environment, your parents, your community, and your earliest childhood money experiences. Think about the messages you heard around money as a kid. Things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, stop asking. Those phrases sound harmless, but when a child hears them repeatedly, the brain starts filing them away as facts about how the world actually works. And here is where it gets really interesting. Those filed away beliefs don't sit quietly. They actively shape the financial choices you make every single day. Researchers identified 4 main types of money scripts, and most people have no idea which one has been quietly running and controlling their financial life. The first type is called money avoidance. If you believe money is bad, corrupt, or that rich people are simply greedy, this might be yours. People with this script unconsciously push money away. They under-earn, overspend on others, and feel guilty anytime their bank balance actually starts to grow. Now, you might be thinking that sounds extreme, but this script often shows up subtly, like feeling uncomfortable when someone asks how much you earn. The second type is called money worship. The belief that more money will fix your stress, your relationships, and your very deep sense of self-worth. People with this script work themselves into the ground chasing more money, and then feel just as empty as before once they actually get there. The hedonic treadmill is real. A Princeton study found that emotional well-being rises with income, but the gains plateau around $75,000 a year. But the money worship script keeps quietly whispering that real and lasting happiness is just around the corner, always one more raise or milestone away. The third type is money status. Here, your self-worth becomes tied directly to your net worth. You spend to look wealthy even when you're not. Think designer clothes on a budget income, luxury cars financed at high interest, and vacations posted online but quietly charged to a maxed-out credit card. This script is particularly dangerous because the spending always feels justified. You tell yourself you are investing in your image, your brand, your future self. The fourth type is called money vigilance, and it looks the healthiest of all. You're careful, disciplined, and you rarely overspend. That sounds great, right? Well, not exactly. Money vigilance can quietly cross a line from financial responsibility into a kind of anxiety-driven, paralyzing hoarding that actually holds you back. People with this script often have a solid emergency fund, but they live in constant low-grade fear that disaster is always lurking around the corner. They cannot enjoy what they have because they are too busy protecting it. And ironically, that fear can cause them to miss real wealth-building opportunities. Now you have heard the 4 types, but here's where it gets complicated. Most people don't carry just one script. They carry a messy combination. You might avoid money and worship it simultaneously. And yes, that sounds contradictory, but that exact contradiction is what creates the exhausting internal financial cycle. Someone with both scripts might work obsessively to earn more, and then, almost unconsciously, spend it all just to bring themselves back down to zero. If any of that truly feels familiar, pay close attention now, because this is exactly where most popular financial self-help advice completely drops the ball. Most financial advice gives you a new strategy, a budget, a savings rule, a payoff plan, and honestly, the strategy itself is usually pretty solid. But here is the real problem. If your money script is still running underneath, no strategy, no app, no budget will ever truly be enough. Think about someone who learns the debt snowball method and actually pays off their cards, only to run them right back up within a year. That is not a discipline problem. That is a script problem, and it will keep repeating until the underlying belief is actually addressed and changed. So how do you actually identify your own script? The first step is surprisingly simple, and you can honestly start doing it right now today. Grab a notebook and finish these 2 sentences. Money is, and rich people are. Don't overthink it. Just write the very first thing that comes. Your immediate answer before your logical brain jumps in. That raw, instinctive response reveals far more about your money script than you might currently realize. If you wrote money is stressful or rich people are greedy, you have just uncovered a core belief that is very likely costing you enormously. Here's why that really matters financially. If your subconscious brain believes money is stressful, it will quietly work to keep you far away from money. It will subtly make you procrastinate on taxes, avoid looking at your accounts, and turn down opportunities that could actually change your entire financial life. Not because you are lazy or careless, but because your own brain is literally trying to protect you from something it was taught to fear. And this is where the math gets really painful, because money avoidance has a measurable and very real dollar cost attached to it over time. Let's say you avoid contributing to your employer's 401k plan because thinking about retirement genuinely feels overwhelming and honestly a little bit scary right now. If you miss just 5 years of contributions between ages 25 and 30, that single delay can realistically cost you over $300,000. That's not a small number, and it didn't happen because you were irresponsible. It happened because a deeply embedded belief was quietly running the show. Now let's talk about how money scripts actually form, because understanding their origin is a massive piece of actually being able to eventually change them. According to developmental psychology research, most core money beliefs are firmly formed between the ages of 5 and 14, before high school even truly begins. Think about that. The financial blueprint you are running as an adult was written when you were still watching Saturday morning cartoons and playing outside. Your parents' money arguments, the ones you overheard from the hallway at night, those became data points your developing brain quietly filed away under truth. Watching a parent panic at the grocery store checkout or seeing a sibling get praised for saving money, all of that was early financial programming. Here's the really uncomfortable part. Those programs feel completely natural to you now because you have been running them since before you could even drive. They don't feel like beliefs at all. They feel like facts. That's exactly what makes them so hard to identify and even harder to challenge. So what actually changes them? This is where most financial self-help truly falls short because they tell you to think positively and just move on. But positive thinking layered over a deeply negative money script is like painting over rust. It looks better for a while, then it comes back. Real change requires what psychologists call script awareness, meaning you must first see the script clearly before you can do anything truly meaningful about it. Step 1 is the sentence completion exercise we talked about. But step 2 is tracing that belief back to its earliest memory or original source. Ask yourself honestly, where did I first learn this? Was it a parent, a moment, a loss, or a conversation I wasn't supposed to hear? This process can feel surprisingly emotional, and that's completely okay. Emotion is actually a sign that you have found something real and worth examining closely. Step 3 is creating what researchers call a counterscript, which is a new evidence-based belief you deliberately and intentionally choose to replace the old one. For example, if your old script said money causes stress, your counterscript might be, managing money well actually creates peace and security in my life. This is not fluffy affirmation work. You are literally building new neural pathways, and neuroscience confirms this kind of intentional reframing genuinely works over time. But here's the part nobody talks about. You also need to pair the belief work with consistent, repeated financial actions that reinforce the new script. Your brain updates its beliefs through experience and evidence, not just through intention. Action is what actually makes the new belief feel real and true. So if your counterscript is, I am someone who manages money well, the direct supporting action is setting up an automatic savings transfer this week. It doesn't need to be a large amount. Even $25 a week is your brain collecting proof that the news story is actually true. Over 12 months, that's $1,300 saved. Over 5 years with modest growth, it becomes closer to $8,000 from just $25 weekly. But more importantly than the number, every week you do it, your brain files a new data point. I am someone who actually saves money. Now let's talk about money status scripts and the real financial damage they quietly do, because this is probably the most expensive script of all. Research shows that people with strong money status beliefs carry significantly more credit card debt and are far less likely to build meaningful long-term wealth. The average American carries roughly $6,000 in credit card debt. At 18% interest, that costs $90 every single month in interest. That's over $1,000 a year, not reducing your balance at all, just keeping the bank comfortable while you stay exactly where you are. And the worst part? The spending that put you there often wasn't even truly satisfying. It was just the script seeking validation inside a store. Here's the really important insight. Spending for status gives a hit of dopamine that fades within about 72 hours. But debt sticks around for years. If you have a money status script, your counterscript could be, my true worth has absolutely nothing to do with what I own or display. Now for money vigilance. If this is actually your script, there's good news and also some hard news, and you genuinely need to hear both. The good news is you are unlikely to overspend, and you probably already have an emergency fund. That alone puts you ahead of most people. The hard news is that fear-based financial decisions can be just as costly as reckless ones, just in very different and far less visible ways. Keeping everything in a low-yield savings account because the stock market feels dangerous means you could be losing tens of thousands to inflation over decades. The real goal is not to eliminate caution, but to make sure your caution is based on real data and not on old childhood fear. Here is your action plan. Identify your script, trace its origin, then choose one small financial action this week that directly contradicts the old belief. Consistency beats intensity every time. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to take the very first honest step and then keep going. Your financial future is not out of reach. It is waiting just on the other side of the limiting belief you now choose to change.